Welcome to the Windows 8 channel, and today we'll have a little review of this very inexpensive Windows 8 tablet. This is a tablet which is around $100 to $150 depending on where you'll buy it. I got it close to $100, and that's one of the points that made me buy it. It's just so inexpensive. And what's really cool is that it is actually a real Windows 8.1 machine. It is not a tablet that, a lot of cheap tablets are usually with Windows RT, which is basically not a real Windows. And I don't think anyone should buy a tablet with Windows RT. Now, I've seen this tablet as low as $89.99 clearance in the United States. In Canada, seems to be about around $120 to $150. And it is a nice little device for the price. It was interesting because the box, when I actually unboxed this device, it has a little, they tried to, make a Apple, kind of an Apple feel to the unboxing. The way it's actually put in this box, the way that you have to gently open the box and all the things that they put inside, all the accessories, is kind of interesting. It was well packaged and really nice. Comes with this very small quick start guide that does give, the basics. Turning it on, turning it off, and, the few gestures that you might want to do on the tablet running Windows 8.1. This is made by Digital2, and they have a certain number of tablets. Actually, they have a 10-inch and an 8-inch of this type. This is the 8-inch that I bought, and it's model D2-801W, or I think W is for the white, and mine is like 801B for black or something like that. Anyway, it depends on the model, but it's D2-801W. And it's a real Intel Atom processor. It's a quad-core Atom processor, where it lacks a little bit, and here is the tablet itself, is on the memory. It has only 1 gigabyte of RAM, but you know what? I'm really surprised at how fast this tablet actually goes. And it shows you that Windows 8 really doesn't need a lot of RAM. So if you're in a very low budget but still need a real Windows computer, well, for $100 you do get, I believe you get $100 worth. It is, a very cheap price to pay, but of course it comes with the limitations. 1 gigabyte RAM, but especially 16 gigabyte of flash memory. So it means that once, you take Windows, you take the fact that 3.7 gigabytes are set aside for the image for reinstall, it leaves you with about 6 or 7 gigs usable memory. Now that's not a lot, and it's easy to fill up, but there's one good side to it, is that you can actually, there's a little SD card slot right here, so you can actually put a micro SD card. So for example, it has 16 gigabyte storage, but you can put in here a 64 or 32 gigabyte micro SD card, and immediately you you just doubled, tripled, or quadrupled the amount of space available, which is quite nice. It comes with Windows 8.1 for Bing. This is what's called 8.1 for Bing. That means it's a very cheap, or almost $0 version of Windows 8 for the manufacturer, and that's why the price is quite down. Let me just show you here how fast it actually loads. So here you get the tablet, and you see I just pressed the on button, and look how fast it actually loads Windows 8.1 and has it working. And this is thanks to the fact that it's flash memory, which really makes it fast. And as you see, you're already in Windows 8, and here we go. So it's very fast, very crisp. As I said, you have your different apps, Internet Explorer, going on the web, and so on. So depending on the websites that you want to visit, and of course it's touch enabled, it is multi-touch, So whatever page you want to actually go through, all you have to do is simply, press the icon and go to that web page. Now it is a little bit sluggish on certain issues, sometimes on some web pages, but overall I'm quite surprised at how well this tablet works and how it responds. One cool feature of this tablet also is the fact that it comes, and it says here on the box, with 1 year of Office 365 personal subscription, meaning that you have included the Office suite, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint. As you see here, the icons are there. So this is also cool because if you don't have Office and you need Office, well, it's there. It does support a front, that has a front-facing camera. It has also a back camera, 2 megapixels on each side, so you can actually take pictures and also do a video. And the quality of the camera, I've tested it on a few different videos that I've made around the house in, good lighting, and also in places where it was, dark. It's actually surprising because even in dark areas, it still works quite well. Where it probably has a little problem on the, especially the back-facing camera, is the fact that it has a little problem with, the differences in light. So if there's a part of the picture that's very, very bright and the other one is dark, it kind of overloads a little bit on the picture. But, for $100, having 2 cameras, 2 megapixels, and also video is quite interesting. And of course you can Skype very easily since it has camera. It has microphone inputs right here on the top. You see the microphone input. So it's really cool for that. If we look at the tablet itself, very thin, very light tablet. It's 8-inch screen. It's a capacitive touch, so it works really well, and it reacts quite immediately. It's multi-touch, so you can have more than one fingers on the surface. And of course, like for example, getting the charms bar or whatever you want to do, or go to the desktop and then you want to go back. You have also that little Windows touch here that you can click to go back to your start screen. Works really well for that. As you see here, I'm going to show you the storage, which is very, very, very light. And as you see, because of the few programs in Office I installed, I only have about 1.8 gigabytes left. So that is probably the most, what would be maybe the least interesting feature of this tablet. With 16 gigs, it does, make things a little jam-packed here, and you have, don't have a lot of space left if you install a lot of programs. But you know what, for documents and all sorts of features, of course you have your SD card, and what's cool also is that you have, with the 1 year Office 365 subscription, you have the fact that you also have OneDrive, which means that you can store your stuff on OneDrive if you have Wi-Fi enabled all the time, and means that you have lots of storage. You come with 1 terabyte, and I think even some of the new subscriptions have unlimited storage now on the OneDrive, which means you can store everything on the cloud, so it doesn't use a lot of space in here. Now, one of the things that I will do probably is remove the recovery partition of this tablet so that I get 3.5 gigabytes more, and so it will give me a little space to actually work. As you see, it's not too bad in its crispiness, and the way it works actually works really well. It synchronizes with everything. So for example, when I installed it, I entered my Microsoft ID and my Microsoft account, and it wanted to synchronize what I had on my other PCs, and my tiles on the screen were pretty much the same I see on the other computers. And of course I said this is a new PC and I want to have everything, so it gives me the tile, but it's not necessarily installed all the time. If you look at the size of this tablet, well, you have stereo speakers at the bottom. You have also here at the top a standard earphone jack, You've got also the mini HDMI or micro HDMI, which means that you can output this to a big screen TV, for example. And you have a micro USB, and this is also where you charge your tablet. Apart from that, you also have the buttons on the side here, which is the power button at the top, and you have the volume controls right here, which are quite nice. This is the back, where you have descriptions of your buttons, and of course your micro SD slot right here if you want to put micro SD cards in here. Battery wise, it is quite good for an 8-inch Windows tablet. I've used it a lot, like using your regular PC, watching YouTube videos, going on the web, reading articles, and adjusting the brightness so that it was, usually I use it with pretty high brightness. As you see here, it's up 3/4. Only at night sometimes I'll put it lower, but overall I've managed to get 3 to 4 hours of battery out of this, which isn't bad at all actually. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to charge, so what I do usually is just leave it plugged in when I don't use it and unplug it when I want it. And so that's the nice thing about lithium-ion, is that you don't have to wait until it's totally discharged before you charge it again. So this is a quad-core Intel Atom processor. It runs at 1.33 gigahertz and has I believe like a turbo boost type that can go up to 1.8 gigahertz. The Windows 8.1 with Bing that comes in here is 32 bits, which is okay for 1 gigabyte. They would need more to have a 64-bit. You need more RAM. And like I said, it's pretty crisp, so I'm amazed at how good this tablet actually works for the price and for the minimum that it has. It also has 802.11 BGN compatible Wi-Fi. It has Bluetooth, so you can connect, for example, a Bluetooth speaker, because you can listen outboard. The sound inside is not that great. Of course, you can put earphones. You can also connect a Bluetooth keyboard if you want, which is quite nice. As you see, when you click, here's the keyboard at the bottom. This is how you type, so you have to get used to this keyboard. So a Bluetooth keyboard might actually be a good idea to use with this tablet, especially if you want to work Word documents and stuff like that. Other features is the fact that the sound, maybe the sound quality or the sound level, just using the onboard speaker is okay, but it's not very strong, so you need to be in a quiet environment, because the sound level is not that strong actually. And it actually improves if you just put it like this, so that the speakers right here are facing you. There is improved sound if you do that, but it could be a little better, let's say. I've used an iPad, and I can say that the sound on the iPad is actually better than the sound on this device. And of course comes with Skype, so you can Skype easily with the front camera, which is really, really nice. And has, of course, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. It has a G sensor, so when you change it, it actually changes the, orientation of your screen. And it's actually quite responsive. Sometimes on tablets that are cheap, you always kind of battle what orientation you're getting on your tablet. This one, no battle at all. You just turn it and it changes. And like I said, it's quite fast, quite crisp. It is 0.84 pounds, so it's just a little less than a pound, or 0.38 kilograms, so 380 grams. So it's not very, very heavy. And like I said, has Windows 8.1, which is the real Windows, so you can actually install any software that you use. I've actually installed Google Chrome browser, for example, which is nice. It's fun to have. The screen brightness is quite good. It's lit by the sides, as you see. It is LED, and very, very nice, very crisp screen. It has 12 The resolution of the screen is 1280, I think. Just make sure that I say this thing. Yeah, 1280 by 800 pixels. So it's just barely above the 720p HD type screen. And went on the web. The maybe the little negative side that I had with it is that the driver, the Wi-Fi, would drop out very often. It would drop out and it wouldn't work at all after maybe 10-15 minutes. So I actually updated the Wi-Fi driver for it to work very well. Now it's really good, but the original driver that came with it crashed very often. And the negative side I would say about that is the fact that on the website of the company making Digital2, they don't have driver updates, which is kind of awkward. So I went on the web and actually just Googled the Realtek adapter, and it's kind of a dual adapter, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And I had an update, and the update fixed the problem. So it's really a driver problem if you've had this. Apart from that, like I said, the negative would be just the 16 gigabyte storage, which is very small. So because you can't install apps from Windows 8 on external memory cards, that could be a problem for a lot of people. It depends what you want to do. But you know what? I'll use this just not really to install a lot of stuff. I'll use this mostly just to surf the web, use a few apps that Windows has, have a desktop with different features. I'll put most of my documents probably on either an SD card or on the OneDrive cloud. So it's actually not too bad. I did notice that when you have Windows updates, one of the problems with the Windows updates is that they take space, so you have to use the disk cleanup utility and remove all the temporary files from the Windows updates, or else you do get that drive filled quite fast. So these are the negative sides of this tablet. You know, having 16 gigabytes is not a lot, and but you do pay only about 100 to 120 bucks, which isn't that bad actually. If you think of an iPad, just a 32 gig iPad is like 600 bucks. That's a big difference. And here you get a real Windows machine. So if you have a piece of software that you need to install, you just put it here. And you know what? This being an Intel Atom processor, an x86, what's nice is that if you want to scrap Windows 8 and use this with some other operating system, it's really cool because you can actually take this, upgrade it, and you know what? I see myself upgrading this to Windows 10 eventually. So I think this could be a really nice Windows 10 machine, which also will enable you to take apps and put them on SD cards, which means that even if you have only 16 gigs, it's actually going to be, quite nice to use. So nice little tablet for the price. Of course, you don't have a lot of storage, so that's the biggest problem on this thing. Overall, it does work well. It does respond well, and actually, I'm quite happy for 100 bucks for this tablet. So this is the Digital2 Windows Tablet PC 8-inch. It is the D2-801W tablet, and works fantastic for the price. It's anywhere from about the lowest I've seen, a clearance sale, is $89.99 US, and goes up to, I've seen it up to $169. And $169 is a little expensive, but I'd say if you pay $100, $120, $130, I think you got a good deal. So hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any comments, questions on what you've seen, let us know. Maybe you have a Windows 8 video you'd like us to do. Why not ask away? We'll try to post that video online, and hopefully you will come back to the official Windows 8 channel. Bye-bye.